2, 1.
Welcome to another College of Education Go Live. I'm Dr. Beth Pesnell, and I am here with two members of Kappa Delta Pi, Hannah and Zoe. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles in Kappa Delta Pi?
So my name is Hannah Phillips. I am the current president of Kappa Delta Pi. I'm a senior studying elementary special education.
Great.
I'm Zoe. I am a junior and I'm elementary education major with an open option, learning a little bit of everything.
Good.
And I am the incoming president of Kappa Delta Pi, but I've been the fundraising chair and I've helped do some events.
Awesome. Great. So some people out there might be wondering, what is Kappa Delta Pi? Tell us a little bit.
So Kappa Delta Pi is an international honor society that has its chapters at various universities across the country and the world. We are an organization that focuses on fostering excellence in current educators and pre-service teachers. So there's a lot of different opportunities for all teachers to learn about different topics.
Great.
And we have men and women that are members, and we also provide a ton of resources once you are a member. Yeah.
Great. We're going to come back to those resources here in a little bit. So it's an international honor society. So I'm guessing that means there are probably some things you look for in membership. So how does someone become part of Kappa Delta Pi?
Yeah, so every semester we get a list of people from the College of Ed who have the required GPA, which is a 3.5. So we get that from Pam Monroe, and then our membership chair sends out invitation emails to all of the people who are eligible for membership, and then they fill out a short application saying how many hours they've taken in the College of Ed, because you have to have 6. So
Okay.
most people can apply at the end of their freshman year.
Awesome.
And then after that, if you have met the GPA and the hour requirements, then you are a member.
Okay. So a 3.5 GPA and at least 6 hours in the College of Education.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody could be a member as early as the end of their freshman year.
Yes.
Right? Which is exciting because then they have quite a bit of time to participate in what you do.
Yeah.
So why should someone apply and become a member for Kappa Delta Pi?
One thing for me is it is actually for elementary educators or secondary educators, so both can join. So you get connected to a lot of people that are in the EdCat community. And then, as I said, there's several resources you get once you are a member, like scholarships, grants, certain events like convocation, and there's resources for the praxis exam, which all educators
Ooh.
have to take.
That's nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So scholarships. Tell us about scholarships that can be available.
So there's over $40,000 worth of scholarships
Wow.
available every year for anyone who's a member of Kappa Delta Pi. And they have various deadlines. So I applied last year for a couple, or not last year, but like before this last deadline. So I'm still waiting to know about those, more for grad school at this
Okay.
point. And the grants that are available are for in-service teachers. So I want to say semester, because I feel like I get a lot of emails about the
Yes.
grants. You can get a $150 grant for your classroom once you are a teacher for supplies, things for your kids and stuff like
Great.
that.
So it's not just an organization while you're preparing to be a teacher. This is going to support you as you are in the classroom as well,
Yes.
correct? So you would just keep your membership active.
Correct.
Right? So how many, right now, do you currently have involved from the College of Ed?
So right now we have 38 members, and then we just added 13, so 51.
Great.
Yeah, so we just had
Okay.
13 members that we initiated last Tuesday, which is the
Initiated.
biggest number that we've had for a couple years because of COVID, so that's
Great.
super exciting. But yeah, initiation is a short ceremony that we hold after we call out for members about a month later, and we read through our creed and what we stand for, and they accept their membership, and they get a pin that has Kappa Delta Pi on it, and a certificate for their membership, and then they're officially our chapter member.
Great. So once you become a member, you have like monthly activities and meetings. What are some things that you guys do in those meetings?
We usually have guest speakers. We like to first ask all the members who they would like to hear from, but we've heard from principals, school counselors, librarians, first-year teachers, even members that are doing their student teaching right now have joined and kind of talked to us about what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And am I correct in that not only do you get the benefit of being part of that rich discussion from the guest speaker, but it also counts as professional development hours?
Yes. So every meeting you attend is one professional development hour, and then if you become an officer, you get professional development hours for officer meetings as well. So if you are a member, you can get 4 per semester, plus other events if we have school things, or if you're an officer, you can get 8.
Okay. Wow. So you mentioned other events. What are some events that you participate in?
So one of the biggest ones that neither of us have personally been able to attend yet, Zoe will be able to this next year, is Convocation. So Convocation is a big conference that they have every year that's for the chapters of Kappa Delta Pi. Was held in Kentucky, I believe, the last time that they had it. So it would be a little trip, and that's usually what we would fundraise for. So in the past, we've had shirt fundraisers or bake sales and things like that. Other events that we have are mostly social events for the chapter. So we had an event at the Fragrant Blends candle shop in the mall for our members, and our most recent one was Initiation, which usually is just the new members and officers, but we decided to open up to all of our members this year. So we had cookies and refreshments and things like that, and it was a fun time to get to know each other a little bit more.
Great. And if I remember correctly, last year you had a great T-shirt that said "Teach."
Yes, yeah.
College of Ed. Yeah. Are you going to have another T-shirt sale this year, or are you looking at something a little different?
Possibly.
Okay.
It depends what our new officers and members want to do.
Okay.
But we're looking forward to doing a lot more fundraising and events since COVID has died down, and we have so many new members.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get everyone participating and together.
Those shirts are still for sale.
Are they?
On our
Yes.
Instagram bio.
Oh, well, you may have to share that, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I know I picked up a couple of them last year, and I love wearing them around. So if I recall, you're also doing some kind of a school supply drive for area schools. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was all Zoe, so she can.
So I am doing my early field experience at Woodrow Wilson. Actually, I just got done.
Yay.
But I realized that they are in need of several school supplies and pencil sharpeners, just several things. And I spoke to the principal and asked what they needed, and I just started a fundraising where people can go on an Amazon wish list, and it can actually go straight to the school, which is super handy. No one has to go anywhere. And then we also have a little drop-off box here in the Catalyst.
Okay.
But it's just to help out the schools that are in need right now.
That's fantastic. So where would they find the Amazon wish list?
We send it out an email and also, I think, on Instagram.
Yes.
Our Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, there was an email that we sent through Pam, so there should be to everyone.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, and maybe we need to circulate that again,
Yeah,
huh?
we can.
But your Instagram, if people want to find you, where is that? What is it? Just Kappa Delta Pi?
I think it's at KDP
Awesome.
KSU.
Okay,
Because there's a bunch of chapters.
KSU.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So if you look for that, we can find the Amazon wish list. You can also bring supplies and drop them off here at the Catalyst. So probably, like you mentioned, pencils and crayon, things that like get used up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Dry erase markers.
Oh,
Yes.
Very big one. Kleenexes. I actually went and brought in some by myself, and the office ladies were like freaking out. They were so excited. Kleenexes are a big one.
A big commodity.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, you don't think about it, but I mean, as a classroom teacher, you know, you get all these supplies at the beginning of the year, and that's when everybody thinks about school supplies. But by the time semester hits, like, the crayons are broken and the pencils are gone, and, you know, like, so that's a really great, that's a great way to support our community.
Yes.
So that's exciting. So if you're out there and want to know how to support, you can participate in the school supply drive with Kappa Delta Pi. And, don't you do one at the beginning of the school year too, or have you
We have in the past, yeah.
And this year you waited maybe until semester. I like that. That's kind of a fun way to replenish.
Yeah.
Nice. So any other information about Kappa Delta Pi that would help our listeners, our watchers out there today know a little bit more about you?
I would like to say that I know during the school year there are a bunch of opportunities and groups to join, and it can get overwhelming and you don't want to have too much of a time commitment. But Kappa Delta Pi is very rewarding and also not stressful in any way. It's a very supportive and great community, and it's worth joining.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you said earlier too about how it's just such a good community of educators we wouldn't have met otherwise. Like Dr. Sherbert, our faculty advisor, is what has been one of the greatest resources that I've had so far, and I never would have met her if I wouldn't have been in Kappa Delta Pi.
Right, because she's secondary education, right?
Yeah. So, and also, membership of Kappa Delta Pi looks great on a resume, even though that's not the only reason that you should join. But it does.
It's
it
a
looks
perk.
good on a resume. Local principals have been, there's a few that are members of Kappa Delta Pi, and so they look for that, especially if you are an officer. That's another little perk. And being an officer, like what Zoe said, is not as time-consuming as it may sound. I've been president this last year and vice president the year before, and I've never felt stressed about my duties, even though we do quite a bit of things within the College of Ed. So,
Yeah.
That's great. And earlier you mentioned something about a lot of resources. So we talked a little bit about scholarships, but what types of resources, you mentioned the Praxis Prep. So tell a little bit about those resources that they'll have access to as a member.
So there's the Praxis support to help you study. I don't know, you would know more about that since you're farther along.
Yeah, so the Praxis help is tutoring and different resources like handbooks and things like that. There's also webinars that you can watch, and those count as PD hours as well. So if you need a little boost at the end of your time and you need some more PD hours, or if there's something you're interested in, you usually get emails about those types of things. So you could watch those for a PD hour. Plus you get discounts on insurance, like professional liability insurance, car insurance, things like that, and hotels, etc.
Those are great perks. Those are awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys joining me here today. I know I've learned a lot about Kappa Delta Pi, and I hope all of you have as well. Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for joining us on this Go Live edition. And come back and join us next month when we go live with the College of Ed.